Good afternoon. It's Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma. On the news this afternoon, stakeholders raise concerns over voter apathy and transparency ahead of council election. Police arrest officers over assault linked to expired tinted permit in River State. AFCC declares son-in-law of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar wanted. Chief of Defense advises Nigerians to learn combat skills. On the foreign scene, UN declares famine in Gaza. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, former Labour Party chairman Favour Reuben says he doubts whether the River State Independent Electoral Commission can conduct a transparent election without imposing candidates. Mr. Reuben said this during an interview with correspondent Yobi Ruware. He expressed doubt at the sincerity of the management of RISIEC.
Labour Party is participating fully in this election. Local government is to help the grassroots develop, and that's why we are supporting it. That any party that is fully ready will go into the local government election and they may win the election. The only thing we keep telling RISEC is that make the election free, fair, and credible. Do not favor any political party so that every party can win election. Allow the people to make their choice. Don't impose onuses on RISEC to make sure that this election is free, fair, and credible.
Reuben also pointed out fresh divisions in the Labour Party, saying two factions are fielding candidates.
The Labour Party have an issue in the national, and everybody is aware that there is a problem in the national. And because of that problem in the national, it trickles to all the states. And that's why what I'm saying, you're seeing. I cannot say they are not chairmen, they are chairmen, but they belong to different factions of the device. And so any of them can claim chairman. People are claiming any chairman, so it's not, until we settle the national, we cannot have the single person. So everybody is a chairman.
But former party spokesman Gogo Wellington disagrees.
I'm just worried about, despite the very glaring circumstances which should make anybody in a sane mind not think about conducting an election in River State as at now, being that there's no democratic rule in place. Persons are still pursuing venture because of their personal interest. River State, as we know, is under emergency rule, and there's no basis whatsoever for any democratic election to be conducted in a state that is under emergency rule.
Chairman of the Action Democratic Party in River State, Kendrick Christian, believes that the election may be marked by voter apathy.
Basically, what we are concerned about as a party is that the will of the people should come to bear. And that can only be possible if people come out to vote. So these people have been known as people who always want to speak through their votes. So if they don't come out and vote, we're not going to have a good election. So we're begging that people come out and vote. My only concern, my only worry is that we are not going to have a good turnout, and we are praying against that. That's all.
Now let's shift attention to governance in River State, where stakeholders are still setting expectations for the return of Governor Siminalayi Fubara. A Port Harcourt-based journalist Olaleko Ige wants the governor to focus on the river's first mantra when he is reinstated. Speaking to correspondent Yobi Ruware, Mr. Ige urged the governor not to be distracted by the 2027 general elections.
The governor should focus on his major mantra was the rivers first. He should continue with that mantra. You need to focus on education, on healthcare, on infrastructural development, on capacity building. It's for him to continue in that trajectory and ensure that he fulfills at least the vast majority of his vision for rivers people. Immediately comes back and not dissipate the energy on any other political maneuvering and all of that.
Ige also called and advised the governor to ensure that on his return, he should endeavor to complete most of the projects he started before the emergency rule in the state. Similarly, political analyst Dr. Obinna Nwodim says the group should not let the recent political crisis influence how he governs.
You remember that Sim is not the traditional politician. He was projected by a family. He is going back to that same family. I think that he should play along because those are the people that worked with him or worked for him before he emerged as governor. And those are still the same people that will also work with him as he comes back to office. All they should just do is to open their heart and then work.
Dr. Nwodim, however, expressed disappointment that development in the state has been slow during the emergency period.
In all fairness, I wouldn't say that the average Rivers man has seen any tangible thing. You saw that a lot of things within the government, it truncated what was ongoing. Lots of contracts that were awarded by the suspended governor stopped. There is a big difference between what is happening now and what would have happened when the democratic structure was on ground.
But for public affairs analyst Obinwa Akanwa, he is not expecting much from the governor when he returns.
The state has been put in an autopilot mode. So what is going to play out is being, programmed. So the governor has no hand in what will play out between when he comes back and when his tenure comes to an end by a flution of time. So for me, it's an autopilot arrangement. Just the state is on cruise. So it goes until it gets to the final point. So that's nothing I'm expecting.
Akanwa believes the suspended governor has been boxed into a corner and that less development should be expected. In a proactive move to strengthen flood response and disaster management across River State, the River State Central Working Committee on Management Control and Collaboration Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has commenced a 5-day simulation exercise in Mbiama, Ahoda West local government area. The exercise, which is mandatory for all designated officials and runs from Friday, August 22nd to Tuesday, August 26th, aims to equip local government administrators and community representatives with practical strategies for flood control and emergency coordination. Flashpoints identified for the exercise include Anthony, Oyibo, Eleme, Opobonkoro, Ogubolo, Gokana, Emohwa, Tai, Kana, Eche, Boni, Degema, Obiabo, and Port Harcourt. A highlight of the program is scheduled for Monday, August 25th at the Mbiama Bridge, where nominated observers from each local government area will witness a live demonstration of flood response protocol. Each LGA is expected to send 2 representatives to observe and report on the proceedings. The Orashi region, comprising Ahoda West, Ahoda East, Abua Odua, and Onelga, has been identified as the most impacted by seasonal flooding. Administrators from these local government areas are required to participate in all sessions, accompanied by 10 community members each. In a related story, some residents of Port Harcourt are calling on the River State Waste Management Agency, RUWAMA, to step up its waste disposal effort. They told our correspondent Nnamdi Samwala that the level of pollution in the city is becoming alarming, with littered waste across the metropolis defacing the state. They also raised concerns about the growing number of flies.
The rate of pollution in River State is becoming quite alarming because health, they say, is wealth, and you can't do or achieve more if you're unhealthy. This used to be Garden City. We used to experience serenity and the rest. So please, it should be a wake-up call so that we could also be alive, we could also be sound to carry out our daily activities.
Waste management is nothing to write home about. When it rains, it becomes worse and dirtier. I think we need the government.
At Igrita here, where I reside, waste is not being taken care of. It's being ignored. It stays for days, weeks, breeding flies, polluting the environment, also defacing the environment.
Similarly, a professor of animal and environmental biology, Sydney Obidimma Nzako, is calling for a statewide campaign on waste bagging and proper disposal in River State. In a chat with our correspondent Nnamdi Samwala, Professor Obidimma Nzako says the activities of scavengers are also undermining Port Harcourt's Garden City status. He adds that proper reorientation will help drive waste to wealth initiatives.
Somebody bagged this refuse, then you scattered it, picked the valuables from the refuse. You do not rebag it, you do not secure it, you left it there for the wind to scatter it around. These people that are scavengers, they should be arrested and kept into a place where they will be reoriented on how to do things. Even if you must pick from the waste, like they say that they are practicing waste to wealth. Fine, but you cannot practice this waste to wealth at the expense of the health of the populace.
Professor Obidimma Nzako also warned about the health risks of leaving waste unpacked in parts of the Port Harcourt metropolis.
The patriotic aspect of it is that the citizenry are docile. They are not saying anything. They are not reacting. And we are busy snapping things and sending online, TikToking and the rest of them. When the real TikToking should be about the real things that sustains life. We're talking about health. The environment is dead. Then by default, every other person here is also influenced by it, because parasitic infections are contact diseases. A man that has a low quality of health cannot say he's wealthy.
Now, at a time when Nigerians are struggling with rising costs, there are fresh concerns about plans to review the pay of political office holders. A public affairs analyst, Jackson Ojo, has slammed such plans by the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission. In an interview with our correspondent Mekotoka, Mr. Ojo calls the move an insult to ordinary Nigerians and a clear case of misplaced priorities. He says it is absurd for public officials to claim their pay is outdated when they already enjoy multiple allowances while most citizens earn far less.
This is a government that do not think about the people. People are suffocating and we still want them to further suffocate. This is not necessary. It's like we are fetching water from the well and pumping it to the ocean. I think the major concern of anybody in government now is insecurity, poverty, health, education, and to make sure Nigerians smile.
Mr. Ojo also urged the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress to act on their responsibilities. However, he expressed doubt that President Bola Tinubu would approve the proposal. In another development, the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has condemned the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission's plan to review the salaries of political office holders in Nigeria, describing it as insensitive and morally wrong. Speaking on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire, NLC National Assistant Secretary General Onyeka Chris explained politicians are already enjoying abundance, and more pay will only encourage unproductive acts.
It's very, very insensitive. It is morally wrong for a nation that says it's fiscally insufficient to now embark on spending such humongous amounts of salary on particular office holders at the detriment of Nigerian workers and Nigerian citizens is wrong. Because when you increase the salaries of political office holders, what you are doing is that when they get this money, what do? They travel more abroad, because what you are throwing to them is an addition for them to do all of those things that are not productive.
Chris called for equality in salary for some civil servants. According to him, they put in more work.
I do not see why a ward chairman should be earning more than a professor in a Nigerian university. That is wrong. I do not see why a governor should actually earn than a director in the civil service. I think the salary should be at par, at half of their professions.
And now, a closed-door meeting of the People's Democratic Governor Forum will be held in Zamfara State tomorrow, Saturday. The meeting is aimed at shaping the party's direction ahead of its national convention scheduled for Ibadan in November 15th and 16th, 2025. And a statement by the spokesperson of the Zamfara State Governor, Sulaiman Idris. The meeting is described as a pivotal gathering to deliberate on key political strategies and foster unity within the party. The statement said the meeting will provide an opportunity for party leaders to address pressing political issues, strengthen internal cohesion, and collaborate on developmental initiatives across their respective states. And let's take a break now. But when we return, the FCC declares the son-in-law of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar wanted. Stay with us. Properties Limited, one of Nigeria's fastest growing real estate brands, is set to open its Port Harcourt branch on Saturday, August 23, 2025. The new office, located at number 4 Rumokoro Street, Rumomasi roundabout by the MTN office building, marks a major milestone in Pineleaf's mission to deliver modern, affordable, and secure housing solutions to Nigerians. Speaking ahead of the launch, Pineleaf Estate's Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Onyeka Nzekwesi, said the expansion reflects the company's commitment to meeting the needs of Nigerians in rapidly growing cities. He said the grand opening will feature property showcases, exclusive offers for early subscribers, and interactive sessions where prospective homeowners and investors can learn about Pineleaf's track record in real estate development. He said Pineleaf Estate, which already operates in Lagos, Asaba, Oka, Enugu, Abuja, Onitsha, and other major cities, has built a reputation for affordability, transparency, and innovation. The company said its Port Harcourt branch will further strengthen its presence in southern Nigeria while creating new opportunities for individuals and families seeking reliable home ownership. And the event is scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Away from that, the Rivers State Police Command says officers filmed assaulting a man in Port Harcourt have been arrested. The victim alleged he was beaten after refusing to pay 1 million naira over an expired tinted permit. Spokesperson Grace Iringikoko confirmed the officers are in custody and facing disciplinary action. She says the Commissioner of Police, CP Olubenga Deboju, has ordered a full-scale investigation, assuring the command is committed to professionalism and accountability. Also, the Chief of Defense Staff CDS General Christopher Musa is asking Nigerians to acquire combat skills to protect themselves in the face of growing insecurity. General Musa said this during an interview on Channels Television yesterday. The CDS likened learning martial arts such as karate, taekwondo, and judo to other essential survival skills like swimming and driving. General Musa also called on the National Youth Service Corps NYSC to incorporate training in unarmed combat for Nigerian graduates as a means of preparing them for day-to-day survival against criminals. In other news, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has declared Bashir Haske, a businessman and son-in-law of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, wanted. He was declared wanted over an alleged case of criminal conspiracy and money laundering. In a notice issued by the Commission's head of media and publicity, Dele Oyewale, the EFCC urged members of the public with helpful information about Haske's whereabouts to report to the nearest police station or any of the Commission's offices nationwide. To education matters now. 3 young debaters have booked their spot in the semi-finals of the Nigeria Info I Beg to Differ National Debate Tournament. Thursday's quarterfinals were tense and full of close calls that kept the judges and audience on edge. In the first showdown, Majesty Joseph Ojochebe of Government Day Secondary School, Karo, edged out Abu Francis Helen Ebo of Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Maitama, by just 1 point, 127 to 126 points. Next, God's Goodness Kokoete of Venocrest Schools, Port Harcourt, delivered a commanding performance against Omar Bende Excel of Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Maitama, winning 129 to 110.5 points. And in the final battle, Ifeoluwa Olaiya of Wellspring College, Lagos, narrowly defeated Tayo Akewande Marvelous of Air Force Secondary School, Port Harcourt, with 127 points to 126.5 points. With those results, Majesty Joseph God's Goodness Kokoete and Ifeoluwa Olaiya are through to the semi-finals. They join Olajolo Akiloluwa, who booked his place on Wednesday. The debates continue on Monday here on Nigeria Info FM. And our coalition of African journalists has issued a strong condemnation of Israel's targeting of Palestinian reporters in Gaza. The African Journalists Against Genocide, AJAG, is calling for international sanctions and accountability. It accuses Israel of suppressing truth by preventing international press coverage of the humanitarian crisis. It also considers journalists' death in Gaza as crimes and attempt to silence critical voices. The group was created by broadcaster Ireti Bakare Yusuf and involves media professionals from over 20 African nations. It says more than 250 journalists have been killed since 2023. In business, the latest data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission NERC shows that the monthly revenue collected by electricity distribution companies DISCOs dropped in June to 182.11 billion naira. That's 4.93% below 191.57 billion recorded in May. In entertainment, Grammy Award winner Burna Boy says he would have been a suicide bomber, oil thief, or a prostitute if he wasn't a singer. In sport, a former Super Eagles defender, Taribo West, on Friday berated the Nigeria Football Federation and Lagos State government for allegedly abandoning the family of late goalkeeper Peter Rufai.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
The United Nations has confirmed that there is now famine in Gaza City and its surrounding area for the first time. A group, the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification IPC, says more than 500,000 people in the Strip are facing starvation, destitution, and death, with catastrophic conditions projected to expand to Deir al-Bala and Khan Yunis next month. But Israel's foreign ministry has rejected the report, saying there is no famine in Gaza. Look at the headline once again. We brought you a report that stakeholders have raised concerns over voter apathy and transparency ahead of council elections. You also heard that the police have arrested officers over assault linked to expired tinted permit in Rivers State. We also informed you that EFCC has declared the son-in-law of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar wanted. We told you that the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has advised Nigerians to learn combat skills. And also, on the foreign scene, you heard that the UN has declared famine in Gaza. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwusu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.